We all drive to work and to school every day, and what we don't think about is that motor vehicles are dangerous weapons, and hundreds of thousands of people die every year in motor vehicle accidents, and even more are severely injured. And it's not just the physical injuries, the emotional fallout from being in a serious car accident can change someone's life. Generally, when people come to us, they're overwhelmed. Not only are they suffering with a serious and debilitating injury, but they are getting paperwork from the hospital, they're getting communications from insurance adjusters who are trying to settle their case on the cheap, and they need help figuring everything out. One thing we always say to clients is that we are here to make your life easier. Give us all the paperwork, tell anyone who calls you to call us, and all you have to do is get better. We see a range of injuries in auto accident cases, from relatively minor as whiplash injuries or minor fractures, all the way to paralysis or death. Some of the most severe cases we see are motorcycle accidents and trucking accidents. Motorcycle accident cases can be very difficult because often the motorcyclist, even though he or she did nothing wrong, is blamed by the jury. We work really hard in those cases to make sure the jury understands that just like there are irresponsible motorcyclists, there are also responsible motorcyclists, and those people need to be treated just like any other driver of any other vehicle. We have a lot of good relationships with adjusters from insurance companies, and we work hard to have good relationships with those adjusters. But at the end of the day, insurance companies don't have feelings. They have one interest, which is to maximize their profit. And if that means lowballing somebody with a serious injury, then they're going to do that. Our goal and responsibility is to push back against that as aggressively as we can. And the insurance adjusters know that if we aren't able to get a fair result, we're going to sue the case and fight them all the way to trial. And because they know that, we're able to get better results before trial and even before bringing a lawsuit. We get a lot of our new clients from old clients because our former clients know that we get as much money as we can possibly get for them. We're able to get a premium because the insurance companies know that if they don't pay us now, they're going to have to pay us later. That's one of the advantages of coming to a firm that brings cases to trial. There are several types of damages that are available in auto accident cases. Usually we ask for a repayment of a client's medical bills, compensation for emotional distress and loss of enjoyment of life, compensation for past and future pain and suffering, and compensation for any lost wages. Depending on the case, there may be other types of damages available, including permanent impairment, which is a damage that's allowed for people who have a permanent injury. Also, in some cases, we're able to seek compensation for our victims' loved ones. Sometimes we take on cases and we learn that the opposing party doesn't have insurance. That leaves us with several different avenues to try to collect. In some cases, the appropriate avenue is to go after the person who isn't insured. If that person has funds, we will find them and go after them. If not, there are several other things we can do. All drivers have a type of insurance called uninsured motorist. Under that policy, you are allowed to collect against your own insurance company if you're hit by somebody with no insurance. If you've been in an auto accident, you should call an attorney because it doesn't cost you anything. Sometimes people call our firm and I'll say to them, you don't need an attorney for this case. You're going to end up paying us a portion of the fee and you're better off doing it by yourself. But oftentimes, people need an attorney because if you have a serious injury, you're never going to be compensated fairly without an attorney. An advantage of coming to a smaller firm is that Ben and I work on every case together. You also know that you're always going to be able to reach us. At Gideon Asen, our rule is that every client is our most important client. I've handled hundreds of auto accident cases. They've been a big part of my practice since I've moved from New York City to Maine in 2016. When you first call Gideon Asen, you'll speak to our intake coordinator, who will take down your basic information and then schedule a call in the next few days with one of our attorneys. That second call will usually last about 30 minutes to an hour, And after that first consultation with an attorney, we'll have a good sense about whether we're able to help you.